You know, that's another thing we should do. Get some quiet fucking
some
chairs.
decent chairs, yeah. So...
Listen.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna sync this now.
I don't have to sync shit.
I have to sync shit.
Just sync it by hand with our mouths.
I want to
sync it.
I'm not. It'll be... Don't.
Oh.
Can we just make this one video on its own? just call it prep time.
Yeah.
ADHD. Bro, it's peaking.
Mangekyo.
We need to fucking like turn the input sensitivity down.
We just got to keep a neutral tone.
Can we start this now?
Yeah. Mama had a chicken.
Mama had a cow. Here we go. Wait for you to stop yawning. Ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Neutral tone. Keep it low.
Yeah, I know.
Don't get too excited.
I'm trying to.
Okay.
Don't talk too fast.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Just slow.
Are you gonna let me begin?
Captain. Warp speed talk.
Superstar 29 here with Super 300 and Blue Inferno 95.
I'm Superstar 29 here with Superstar 300 and Blue 99. I'll have to start again. Here with Superstar 20. Oh! Superstar 20.
He is a good yeah.
Oh,
so we have him.
And share your thoughts as well whilst you watch, guys. Fuck me, I couldn't say
Dude.
Here we go. We're the gods of discussion.
You don't need to talk so fast.
You really don't.
I know. I you know, I feel like I get used to it. I feel like I can do
We're
it.
going to discuss. We're here to talk about.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another video of Fantastic Talks. Joining me in this video today is Scourge and Tim.
Hello.
And we are back to bring you a Sonic commentary. We haven't done one since the full review of Frontiers. We're going to do another review of Sonic Frontiers, but this time on the Final Horizon update that was released not long ago. We have got some shit to say about that, I'll tell you that.
We do, but we could also, I guess, well, it's mainly about Final Horizon. I guess I would have said we could judge every update individually, but there hasn't been, like, substantial
Not
updates.
really, because I didn't play any of the updates until this final one came out, so I want to play it all in one go.
Yeah.
So all of it was really new to me. I didn't play it throughout the time it came out.
And there's the most to talk about for this anyway.
Exactly. So where should we begin?
Well, shall we just start off with very quickly all the random shit that we did add anyway?
Well, like the karaoke stuff and the
There was a karaoke mode.
There was.
Well, there was music.
You can edit the music and like
find music.
Yeah,
like Hidden Generations.
Yeah,
that's fun.
I really enjoyed that because it was cool going around the open world map and having open zone map, having Mystic Ruins play and shit.
Yeah,
like that was really cool.
That's good.
Like,
they added. There was a Sonic's birthday thing. There was a Christmas thing.
Yeah.
He has a spin dash now.
Yes,
the spin dash is really good.
Breaks the game.
Breaks the game.
Still can't run on water. A bit of a weird.
But they have to keep you on the island somehow.
Yeah,
you
true.
know what I mean?
But like, it'd be nice to skip to the next island to the next, I guess. So,
that would make it open world.
Next game, maybe, hopefully. But aside from that, yeah, all that was pretty cool. Collecting song notes, doing some new side missions and stuff like that.
There's some trial shit they added, yeah.
You had Battle Rush, that was pretty cool. But if you don't S rank it all, you don't go to the next one until you S rank it. That's what I found out the other day, and it sucks. Yeah, you have to S rank all those bosses, including the Titans, before you get to go to the next boss rush.
Not counting this thing we're gonna talk about.
Yeah.
They seem to be upping the ante. We'll get to that though.
Yeah.
Where do we start though?
Well, I was going to say, so I actually don't know where to start with this.
Well, let's start at the beginning.
Characters.
I guess. I mean, we start off with a setup of it.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to remind me here because I can't even fucking remember.
You start with Amy.
No, like the very start.
Sage basically said that there was one calculation that she hadn't considered, one impossible future, and that's the one you run with in Final Horizon. Weirdly enough, before that, to get to that DLC though, you have to jump through a big warp ring.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Which no one's really talked about this, but I think that is the first 3D warp ring ever. Like an actual warp ring that Sonic jumps through and comes out with a glowing portal. I can't think of any other instance.
See, that warp ring did throw me off.
It was like from the movie. Like a literal warp ring.
And like, was I meant to go through it? Is this something else entirely?
Yeah.
Because I thought you'd have to go back to the Chaos Emerald altar.
Now, when I saw that ring, I was like, that's new. What the fuck?
Yeah, like... And then it skips you into the new story.
Yeah. And the whole island changes.
Yeah.
What was the most basic island, which had nothing on it, suddenly has a load of shit all over it.
And some of that was the way you play and fight some of those bosses. They acted so differently. I don't know if it was just me.
What, the mini bosses?
There was a lot of tweaks.
We'll talk
to
about
it.
this.
Yeah, like.
Was there anything more on the side of setup? We actually said this. I think the way Sage was like, yeah, okay, there's this alternate thing, we need to work together, Eggman joins in, and then she's like, okay, let me just bring your friends back. Which is funny,
that was it.
because when if you look at it as a whole game package, just before that, they all like sacrifice themselves.
Yeah.
And Sonic's like, I won't let you guys down. And then literally 5 minutes later, hey guys, we're back.
Yeah, like...
And I'm done. And Sonic's fine. He's not corrupted anymore.
I say, yeah, they didn't have Sonic, like, struggling in this one.
Well, that was the point of them doing that, wasn't it? Somehow.
But
And then they started to struggle later on as the game went on.
Yes.
Like...
Yeah, so... But that was of their own corruption. It wasn't because they took Sonic's off of it. I don't know.
They just started interacting with shit to do with cyberspace and started corrupting them. Yeah.
So this part of the island is now the canon part of the story.
Aranos.
So the shit that happened in Aranos
that's
in the original story, does
I don't know,
happen?
man, because
like...
they call this, if you remember, when you go into the game, it says another story has appeared.
Yeah.
Another story.
Like a true ending.
What does that mean? You know
Well,
what I mean?
that's it.
Is that the real ending? Is that a what if? Is that like what are we counting this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I don't think it really matters considering the end result is exactly the same.
Yeah, minus a few character arc changes, I guess, for Sage, which I'll talk about when we get to that. But,
Yeah.
but that was the setup.
Still speaking on the characters, what did we think of the characters?
Yeah, let's get into the big meat of it.
Yeah, that's a whole discussion.
So,
right? No.
The way I looked at it, and I looked at, and
let's do one at a time.
Yeah, one at a time. Yeah, Amy.
My favourite.
I think Amy was the easiest to use and bit more clear and understanding character to use.
When I started playing as Amy, I weirdly found her to be Heroesy. I don't know.
In a way,
some of her moveset just reminded me of Heroes. How fast she was.
How fast
reminded me of Heroes.
I didn't expect to have like a little boost.
Yeah, their own,
some sort.
That surprised me.
Yeah,
like everyone has their own mini boost.
And her platforming is really good. Like when you get to hover with the cards and shit. The tarot card stuff was really cool.
They're really putting in the tarot cards with Amy. And I think that's actually one of my few complaints. Not enough hammer. Not nearly enough hammer. Like it was there, but it was unlockable through the skill tree.
Yeah, the parry.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
Yeah,
they've gone with the tarot instead.
But the thing is, and I kind of say this for all the characters you play as, apart from Sonic, they're pointless to fight with. You can't
in the beginning. I didn't even dare fight anything in the beginning because I realised like they can't do shit.
Yeah, it's level 1.
They have no moves.
Yeah, but it will take you ages again to level up again. Like the Sonic, and so I just didn't bother.
That was one of the things that shocked me the most, and I guess I didn't expect it. Like they have skill trees.
Yeah,
I didn't expect that.
I didn't expect that either. Like
that's one of the main things. When this update was first announced, when it said playable characters, I was thinking, it's just going to be
here's
skins.
Your moves. Yeah, here's your.
Yeah.
It's going to be skins for like the what we call the levels, the
cyberspace.
Cyberspace.
That's what we thought. It'd just be some cyberspace shit.
But no, you get to play them in the
open zone.
Yeah.
That shocked me.
I mean, that is what I expected. I didn't expect them they'll be in just cyberspace.
I didn't. I thought they would cheap out.
Yeah.
I mean, I really thought they would. When the game started and it dropped Amy in the open zone with that new song playing, my mouth dropped.
I do dig the new songs for each character. They were quite relaxing.
They were awesome.
Which I probably will have play in this video.
I was vibing to those. They're good tunes.
I like them, but they were on like a 30-second loop. I swear.
Yeah, they were. I think
They're really
a little bit. Yeah.
But I do like them.
But Amy, I think was the most enjoyable, and I liked that certain things to interact with only applied to a certain character. Like
that took me a while to figure out. All the platforms were color coded.
The color coded, that's
I had to work it out. Like pink is for Amy, and the Cocos that you interact with, the ones with the backpacks, are also color coded. They have circles around them with the colors.
Yeah.
Also, just to
piss me off.
to point out, those Cocos with the backpack sort of remind me of something else from another franchise that may or may not have come out recently. You know the Koroks. Tears of the Kingdom.
Of course.
They wear big backpacks.
Yeah.
I was like, scaling towers and shit.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, Amy was a little fun to use.
Amy was fun to use.
And then next was Knuckles. Knuckles.
I actually might disagree with you guys on these next two, because
Knuckles.
I like Knuckles, but the only things I don't like about I don't like his I don't like his on the ground combo, but then again, I didn't unlock much of his skill tree, so I don't know if I got better.
Yeah.
But okay.
Knuckles' ground combo that you reminded me actually. That's straight up his Advance 1 combo.
Yeah.
Adventure 1.
No, Advance 1. Adventure 1 was forward dash, which it should have been. It should have been that because that's you can aim it. But his ground combo, the whack whack up.
That's Adventure 2 then.
That's Advance 1.
Adventure 2.
I remember Advance 1.
Advance 1 had a punch combo just like that.
You don't do the uppercut in Advance 1.
Yeah, you do. There was an uppercut. It was a 3-hit combo. It was.
I remember that.
Yeah, I swear to you.
I swear to you.
If I can find a clip, it's I'll show you.
I swear.
No, he had it in SA2
because that was a fire one.
And it was probably more, let's be real, the reference probably was more towards SA2, but the way it looked and felt reminded me a bit more of Advance 1.
Yeah.
Might have been a reference, I don't know.
Yeah.
But Knuckles. Nipples, how he felt. How was his gliding? Tell me about that.
Yeah. His gliding
Took me a while
to try and get the grasp. Yeah. I wasn't enjoying it at first.
We said this. It feels like you're controlling a flying boat.
Yeah.
He's heavy.
Trying to turn him the other way is so difficult.
Oversteer it.
Yeah.
There's like a half-second delay on every turn.
And his climbing is a bit awkward too. Especially.
I like his climbing.
His climbing is okay, but
I don't have an issue with his climbing.
You know the part where I think it was like the when you had to get the last emerald for him, and there was like this big blocks of like things with cannons shooting at you. That was difficult to try and climb around and figure out a pattern, what you had to break and unlock to go to the further up.
Those towers were hard, man.
It was difficult.
Yeah, I had an issue with.
I had to look that up. There were so many things I had to look up because I couldn't figure it out.
Well, I was still playing hard mode at that point. So
I was playing hard mode at that point. Until I got to the boss trials, I was still playing hard.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
Right? Did you change it? Yeah. So
I don't know. I'll get back into that. Yeah. But
it's weird because when I was playing that open zone shit, there did come a point before I knew, and I was like, it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
Man. And little did I know.
Well, I back to Amy quickly. God, this video is going to be all over the fucking place.
That's fine.
But back to Amy. When you were saying that they all start with level 1, like but I still had plenty of upgrades left over from when I was playing Sonic.
I didn't realise I did.
I did try a mini boss as Amy.
Yeah.
Got my ass kicked. I was like, okay, that didn't go according to plan, but I know what to do. Went to a co-op elder, upgraded all my skills, which you can do in one hit now, rather than doing one level at a time.
Yeah.
Probably my favourite of the
But you still have to collect shit to get the elders to upgrade you though.
Yeah.
And you don't get a lot sometimes.
That shit's more abundant now because no big. That's outrageous.
That's how I go with it.
The Starfalls sections, they include fruits and other shit now.
Yeah.
Like they were everywhere, so you could more easily upgrade in case. Probably for people who weren't at level but still wanted to play this DLC.
Yeah.
They wanted them to catch up quicker, I suppose.
Yeah.
So.
Knuckles. I tried doing a mini boss as Knuckles, and just pointless. You know the spider machine. I could not fight that thing because that spider machine was it fought way differently.
All the mini bosses were called like Ninja Plus.
Ninja
or
Plus,
something Plus.
They didn't fight the same way they used to.
They were fast.
Yeah, like fucking hell.
Like that spider thing, I couldn't even get close to him because spikes kept coming over.
Man.
Every time you
and I tried to side loop that shit for it to go back to him.
Yeah,
but
this just isn't happening.
There was just no point playing as his characters.
So I got my ass kicked as Amy. Went to the car, got powered up. I was like,
Coco.
I've been playing too much Tears of the Kingdom. Went back to the same boss. I was like, right, this time I'm fucking having him. I managed to get some hits in, and his health bar was like.
But as you already stated,
I was like, well, what the fuck do I do?
The mini bosses were worthless because they don't give you anything. They just drop fucking gears.
Like gears,
you don't need them anymore.
You can find anyway. Yeah.
So them having combat systems in the end was kind of pointless unless you upgrade them to shit. It would be grindy.
Which is why I was a little bit disappointed with.
Tails, I think, had the worst combat. Spanners, yeah, that was it. You couldn't even use a tornado to shoot anything.
Yeah, no tail swipe.
Yeah.
I kept thinking about it. Okay, so moving past Knuckles and Amy. Tails.
Now, wait, I wanted to say on Knuckles though.
Yeah.
It feels like a cardinal sin not being able to climb any wall as Knuckles. I know that would break the game in half.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm thinking of SA2 mind, SA1 mind. But those wall sections that he could climb felt good. He was very fast. It felt very fluid. I actually really liked his climbing.
Yeah.
And you can boost up them as well.
You can.
Which is really cool. Yeah, I didn't mind playing as Knuckles. I just thought his steering was a bit heavy and his on-ground combo was pointless because...
Until you start getting upgrades.
Until you get the grasp of his gliding, it is fun, but it takes a while for you to control. Because I would glide for miles though.
I got the upgrade for the gliding, the one that lets you extend the gliding. That's good.
I honestly can't remember.
But otherwise, if some of the more cooler moves, you have to max out your rings for the rest of them, which is a bit of a shame.
Which has always been...
And it's difficult keeping your rings as those characters.
Well, that's always been a fucked up thing about this game, because one of the power-ups you can get is a higher ring quota.
Yeah.
So you can carry more rings. But then that just means it's that much more difficult to max them out.
Yeah.
So it's kind of...
True.
Let's do that.
Side loop over and over and over again. That's not fun.
It takes like a minute.
It doesn't take that long, to be fair. I've done it.
You guys need to do
I did it before the final boss, so
Same.
to make sure I was
rings,
because it took a while to figure out that boss, which we'll get to in a minute. Tails, I think, was the easiest to travel around.
The flying felt
The flying was really good.
The flying felt
he would
right.
go up for miles.
The little ass boost he does, you know, where you jump and then he's like...
And he fucking shoots himself up. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. And when you max out your rings, you fly the tornado. And it's actually
That's the upgrade.
Quite cool, yeah.
I got that straight away. The Cyclone.
It was really
SA2 Cyclone.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
It was
fan service, man.
It was really good.
Did you get the beam upgrade?
I can't remember. I don't think I did.
When you get the Cyclone upgrade, you can get... You know in the multiplayer for SA2, that big special move where it's like... Mega beam.
Yeah,
You can get that.
Yeah.
Do that on the mini-bosses. Fucking destroys them.
Oh, okay.
Just stay at a distance and go...
I have to try that. I don't think I got that yet. No. Because I ran out of skill stuff to unlock it, I think. Skill points, yeah.
I used all of my skill points.
You need a shit ton of them, yeah.
My most fun I had with all of them was actually just flying around in the Cyclone.
Yeah.
Shit's amazing.
Because there was so many platforms to get to a specific... Yeah, because you had to get to those hacking cocos or whatever they were called.
Yeah, I just was like, hey, fuck you, I'll just fly over there.
Yeah, they were so high up, and I tried, but there's a certain point that Tails can only go so high.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow, I need to get to a higher platform, and then jump again. I'm like, where the fuck do I... Because it was such a maze by that point.
It was puzzling.
It was really puzzly. They made that game so fucking hard to figure out.
It was puzzly, but also, I think this was the first time that I properly noticed how bad the pop-in was.
The pop-in, because it's always been a problem.
It's always been a problem, but it's never been... Okay, it was never that much of a problem for me as Sonic, I don't think. But when you're trying to play as a character that's got to do for these obstacle courses in the air, you're trying to find the point at where you're supposed to start.
Yeah.
And I found that really difficult as Tails and Knuckles, because I was like, well, I can see where I'm supposed to be, but I don't know where I'm supposed to start to get to that process.
If anything, I'm trying to find a shortcut because I can go so high, but I need to be a bit higher to go higher.
Yeah,
you know
I mean, I did do it eventually.
Yeah.
It wasn't the end of the world, but it was kind of like, where the fuck do I go?
Yeah, it took some time. Yeah.
But yeah, I like Tails. The only thing I hate about Tails is that he doesn't have a homing attack.
Yeah, I did find that a bit weird.
It's weird, but he does have a spanner, and the spanner is pretty good. I like the spanner.
It does
because it works handy. Because it's at a distance.
At a distance, yeah, it is handy.
And they really made you use the spanner in his platforming bits.
Yeah,
because those balloons would just kept you sending you off into places you didn't want to go to.
Yeah,
so you just kept throwing spanners through them and flying through them.
And it's weird you had to silence the dash panels as well to unlock a certain thing. Did you come across that?
What you had
as Tails?
Yeah.
You know the ones I mean?
They'd have it where you had to side-loop a dash panel, but they'd put shit around it that would like knock you away.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
had to do like a really careful side-loop.
Yeah. That like threw me off a little bit.
Yeah, I had that as Sonic a few times.
One thing I'll give the Tails thing though is his jump. Just his jump. He had the tail sticking out.
Yeah,
the classic game.
I liked that. Yeah, that was really clever.
I rate that.
I just loved when you're just moving normally as Tails. He does the.
I love that. The full speed movement.
The full speed move and it's like typical
fan
sound.
Tails for some reason felt the most good to move as.
Yeah,
I liked moving as Tails.
He was actually quite fun to play as. but definitely not good for combat.
None of them.
None of them were.
Sonic's still the best.
Yeah, which is a bit of a shame. I would have liked to have seen them expand their combat system a bit more.
I'm just surprised there's a combat and skill tree at all.
Which kind of worries me for what they might do in the next game. I'm hoping they'll make their combat system way better.
Yeah. Well,
if they bring them back.
Yeah, I kind of want to take this time to talk about, before we move into like the kind of end game.
Some of the boss trials. I want to talk about the trials.
I want to quickly talk about my opinion of the original game, or things about the original game that I've
comparing.
I can't remember what I said in that original review because I haven't seen it. But I'm more of a fan of the Supersonic boss fights now. Because I think I said I thought they felt a bit clunky. In the original game.
You did.
And they still kind of do at some point, but I appreciate the epicness a bit more now. But the on-ground combat, I significantly like less now.
Okay.
Really?
That's not just because I played as the weaker characters. And it was something I felt in the original game, but it's something that I couldn't really put into words. I wasn't really sure.
Do you feel like they're too easy to beat now that you're maxed out?
No, it's that it's that every opponent in that game I felt like I was brute forcing through. And what I mean by that is like in any kind of action adventure game, there's a rhythm in the combat. You know, so you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 finisher combo. Block, evade, and then you kind of repeat the process again and try and vary up the combos to do as much damage as possible. But in Sonic Frontiers, there's no combo system. It tells you there's a combo mark, but there's no rhythm to it. There's no 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you can do a finishing move. It's hit, you can do a move, then another hit, and you can do another random move. I know what you mean now. And you
could do a special attack straight away.
Yeah, you can do all of these things on the fly, and it really screwed me up because I couldn't find a rhythm, and I just couldn't remember what the buttons
Same. I had to go back into training mode to try and figure out everything.
So many times because there's no rhythm to it.
Do you find you were doing special moves by accident?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that a lot. Yeah.
I was constantly going, well, how the fuck did I do that? Then I go into the skill tree, into the training mode. Okay, that's how you do it. Then I do it for like 5 minutes, and then I'm like, well, how do I do the move that I was using earlier that I just completely forgot? And there's no rhyme or timing with it as well. You can activate these moves at any point.
This could be one because we haven't played the game since launch.
We us three, we've been waiting for the Fun Horizon update.
PS5,
to then play
just
it again.
To clarify.
Yeah.
Series X.
Well, you Series X.
Oh, fuck, okay. No, but what was it? And on the other hand, you saying about how you can initiate special moves from like frame 1.
Yeah.
In a way, I'm glad because of what happened later. The other shit you have to do that we'll talk about, I'm fucking glad I can initiate special moves at frame 1. Thank God, it's the only way I got through some of that shit later on.
Boss trials.
The trials.
Yeah.
But even before that, what about the other trials? The initial tower trials, each one.
Yeah.
Some of them were a little like whoopsie.
So that's when I changed the game from hard to easy mode.
Yeah, I think
because I tried climbing up that first tower of Sonic. I was just like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Not only because it's just too hard and I don't think I'll be able to do it. Also simply because I can't be fucked.
That's fair.
I genuinely just do not want to go through this trial and error of just falling, my hands get sweating up and me just falling.
Spaghetti.
Yeah.
I can't remember when I switched the difficulty. It might have been like the Titan trials. But with those other trials, for the tower trials,
the combat trials.
It just took the fun out of the game.
It was really
what was really enjoyable about the game was how the bosses were. I don't know how to spit that out.
Before even the boss, those trials leading up to that boss trial, bro. The one thing I was going to point out. Did you say when you started doing? Remember that Psyloop one?
Yeah, second one.
There was like 4 of them or something, and you have to get through them real quick. That's where I was like, whoa.
Yeah, you had to like as soon as you unlock their shield and it goes up. You fucking home into them, stomp them, stomp, and then Psyloop again, blah blah, done. Because the stomp actually does some damage.
It does do a bit of bonus damage.
And then you just move on to the next.
That's another thing as well.
I think I had like 15 seconds to spare or 10.
I had something stupid like that. But the other frustrating thing about that particular trial was that it puts you in at max rings. And at max rings, your speed while I had to do a side loop boost.
I didn't even bother with that. Like, I started it and I let them hit me.
That's exactly it.
I can't go that fast.
Yeah, that's the only strategy I could think of. It's like, what trial starts with you intentionally taking a hit?
Yeah. And I swear the momentum of your boost was all over the place, which I don't remember in the original game. Like, I would boost for miles in the open zone, and then as soon as I slowed down from the boost, when I try to start side looping, he slows down completely.
There is a
my momentum is gone. Is it a setting? Because I don't remember it being changed.
That's something that they added in an update. You can change the momentum at Sonic's stopping speed.
I actually didn't see that.
I did have to go through. Yeah, I think they automatically set it for you when the update came out. I was like, what the fuck?
I didn't change it because admittedly I didn't really notice that much, so I kind of just went with it.
But the tire tries. Yeah, I think those ones. The loopy ones took me a while to figure out.
That was the worst.
Some of them were like piss easy, and some of them were really hard.
Yeah,
the
dog ones. Yeah, that was
easy.
Surprisingly easy because it
gives you 10 minutes.
Yeah,
it shocked me when they were coming at me really fast, and then I saw the timer.
Of all trials, why did that give me 10 minutes to do when I could have done that in 2 minutes, probably even less.
Yeah.
When the other ones, I had to do that in less than a minute.
Yeah. I don't understand.
With like a few seconds short.
I don't understand why they're suddenly being so nice.
Like, oh my god.
And I'd already changed the game to easy mode at this point. I changed it to easy mode at the first tower. So I know that time limit has got nothing to do with the difficulty. Mm-hmm. So
because you had
what happened?
Yeah, because you had hard mode in the original game, and I didn't try hard mode, but you guys did hard mode on the original game. You guys didn't find it that hard.
It was manageable.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
So I'm surprised that wasn't called very hard.
So
the Horizon one.
I played the entire game through normal mode.
Did you?
Yes,
you did.
I changed it to hard mode when I discovered there was a final boss.
Yeah,
I did the whole game on hard under the assumption there was like an achievement or something.
Yeah.
I don't think there is.
No, there isn't.
Yeah.
But I do pride myself on the fact that the trial towers leading up to the rush, I kept it on hard. I did all of them.
I can't remember if I did or not. I definitely changed it. I definitely changed it when I was on the boss title.
It was the boss Master King trial where I started to okay, this is outrageous.
Yeah, I started to lose it with the
We should talk about that.
Yeah.
Because story-wise, it was that Sonic needed to use his cyber corruption that was in him and transform it into a new power.
Yeah.
Master King had to help him do that.
Yeah.
I like that we got a little bit more lore about the ancients. And
they actually spoke to you, which is cool.
They were speaking directly to Sonic. Some of them were antagonistic because they were like, you did this, you destroyed the Titans, this is your fault. And he's like, I'll give you that.
Pretty much.
Did I do that?
You busted open this prison
Guess that was
we
me.
died for.
Yeah.
But the idea that the original hero who piloted Supreme talked to him and everything, I thought that was kind of rad.
Yeah.
I like that. And the Master King was their leader. And there was even a bit of throwaway dialogue from Sage.
It's like they were trying to train Sonic in a way.
They were training him.
He was the next protector.
There was a bit of throwaway line from Sage where she said that there were other species of ancients. I don't know if you heard this line. There were other races on their planet originally. Some of them apparently had 4 legs. Some of them had no legs and were like a snake. And there were really intelligent ones, and they're the ones that got away. The smart ones. They were smart enough to see their calamity coming and escape.
I completely missed that.
Yeah, it was in the open world. It was one of the dialogues.
Oh, okay.
And there's optional dialogue.
Yeah, because that new update, I only stumbled across Sage like twice. And I only came across Eggman once.
Yeah, the only other time I saw Sage, and I mentioned this to you, was that there was a really weird line where Sonic was like, I'm going to hop on that grind rail, you want to come with? And then Sage was like, interesting, so that's how you see it. And I was like, what?
What?
And basically Sage was like, yeah, I don't see a grind rail. There's nothing there. And I was like, what? And then she basically said that the cyberspace, because the island is connected to cyberspace.
Yeah.
The island is part of it, so it's all connected. It's very confusing.
Yeah.
Everything you see in the open zone is tailored to Sonic's memories.
Yeah.
It's all the springs and that. That's not even there.
Yeah, that was the whole idea, even the cyberspace levels. Mm-hmm. It's what's connected to what he used to explore.
Like, we know it's just game tropes, or in the cyberspace, they want to reuse Green Hill. Fuck it. But at least they bothered to explain it.
Yeah.
I'll give them that.
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of like the map thing in the original. I can just see the map in my head.
Yeah.
But Master fucking King, bro.
Yeah.
The boss trials.
It took the fun out of the Titans. I enjoyed those Titan bosses like hell. And it just took the fun out of how quick I needed to be.
Yeah.
And savour the rings. Because by the first time I did that, I was sort of enjoying myself still. It made me feel like I was enjoying those Titans bosses for the first time again. As soon as I got to the Night boss, I only had 15 rings left. 15, yeah. I was like, well, I can't get rings. Yeah. What do I do?
How many? You start with 400, right?
Yeah.
400, and it starts you right back in the beginning.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck off.
I went in, so...
How the fuck am I meant to savour this?
First time I played that, I was like halfway through the second boss when I ran out of rings. And I was like, there is a chance. Slim, but there is a chance. That's just going to start me at the beginning of that boss with all my rings attacked. Then I'll be like, okay, this is manageable. It's like a checkpoint system. Yeah. I can do that.
That's what I thought, I hoped.
Ooh, what you say?
It kicked me straight back to the start. And that was when I was like, no.
This is out of order.
I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Like you said, it took the fun.
Is that when you stopped then?
Yeah, because I do.
So you did get through the tower trials?
Yeah, I got through all the tower trials, which I'll talk about a bit more in a sec. But that boss rush, I was like, I do really like the Super Solid boss fights. Yeah. It's probably one of, if not the best thing about Frontier so far.
And you really had to strategize the moves this time.
Yeah, I know this is hypocritical because I also did say, yes, the original game was too easy.
We actually
all said this,
that the parry was too easy.
Yeah.
The parry made everything piss easy. They fixed that in the boss rush.
They
fixed that.
God.
Yeah, but the parry bit, they fixed because you had to properly time it. I was like, cool, that's literally all you had to do.
Perfect parry.
But man, the timing has to be spot on.
No.
On hard mode it is.
Oh yeah, bro.
On hard mode it is.
Because like I said, I went in.
Even normal's a bit difficult.
I went in on hard, and I did a few of them at first, and then I was dropping them, and I was like, "What's going on?" The hard mode perfect parry timing is frame perfect.
Yeah,
and frame.
Especially with Wyvern, he's so quick. You can't see it.
It was like Dark Souls parrying.
Yeah,
I'm not even kidding. It was fucked. And like it's not even that the parry is busted. It's that like the Wyvern specifically.
Yeah.
It's so hard to telegraph.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, the attack's coming.
Yeah, right?
Where the fuck's the attack?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where am I parrying?
Yeah, Wyvern takes up way too much of the screen.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you have no chance of seeing that.
You can't see the parry lock-on thing.
No.
It does.
It's tiny.
Yeah. And that's why that boss took so long, and why I had so many less rings to use against Knight.
Yeah.
But if you have it on easy, I had to have those boss trials on easy because at least then it was still difficult, but I could still manage what I'm doing.
But
the parry there was like a 3-second thing for you to manage.
Yeah, there was
3 seconds is a long time.
Yeah, I beat them on normal. I put it on normal, and even on normal, it was fucked. It got to the point where, specifically for the Wyvern, I got it where I could kick Giganto's ass, no problem.
Yeah,
on normal.
Because you just lock him, stomp him,
stomp,
boom.
Yeah, I was like, bam, stomp, bam, stomp, bam, stomp, get him down to half health. Side loop him, get him a bit more.
Yeah.
I had a pattern, and then when it got to Wyvern, it got so bad because I was doing it so many times that I just did it by counting.
Yeah,
he'd do them, and I went 1, 2, 3, parry. 1, 2, 3, parry, like that, and I had to do it by counting.
Yeah.
On easy, I went back and tried it on easy. Like you said, the parry window on easy is very big.
Yeah.
Much more manageable.
I had to do it that way, especially for when you fight the end, which we'll get to in a sec. I'm not finished yet.
But do you know how many rings I had when I got to Knight? On normal, 180.
Oh my god!
I did it so. I had to do it so. I did it like 30 times.
I think I had less than 200 on.
I know I could do it, but at that point I was just like, I just don't want to.
Knight was surprisingly a little bit easier to fight.
Oh really?
Weirdly, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
He was
compared to Wyvern.
I forgot how his saw blades worked because I forgot you had to like ricochet them back towards him.
You have to kind of anticipate where he's going.
Yeah.
You have to aim a bit ahead of him.
Yeah. And to avoid his spikes at the beginning of the thing, because I forgot that you could boost yourself to save yourself mid-air.
Yeah. For the love of God, don't lose rings on the way to them. Like when you have to run up to them, just don't. Just give up if you lose rings. You know what I mean?
That's it.
When he starts moving, get way back.
Yeah.
Because the spikes come.
Yeah.
When he hits the hand into the ground, then you can start jumping over them, and it's much more easy.
Yeah. Like, I think the Wyvern was the most difficult one, and like you had to strategize your attacks, and you had to do it in a certain pattern. You had to.
Yeah.
And that's what took the fun out of it.
It was insane.
I liked it when you were beating the shit out of them and fucking enjoying yourself and all that.
No enjoyment.
Fucking throwing them around and shit, and then, man, it didn't feel like... Because it wasn't even New Game Plus mode. It was just already...
This was base game.
Game. It was base game, but just very hard.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't balance what's hard and very hard. Like...
Yeah.
Because you already had a hard mode in the original game, but it wasn't even that hard.
And then this was like real hard.
Yeah, so it's like there's a lot.
I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah,
it was just unnecessary.
Yeah, like
it was like, why?
I mean, again, we are to blame because we
complained it was too easy.
Yeah, and they took the feedback, which is what we want them to do. Take feedback.
I think that boss rush and that in general this update is one of the hardest things in any modern Sonic ever. It's hard.
But when you got to the end, oh my god! Before we get to that, you have something to say about the Tower Trials again?
Yeah, I just wanted the context of the trials was. I feel like a missed opportunity because Sonic went to see each of the Guardians. I really wish that it was the other characters that did that.
Yeah, I was surprised you didn't do that either.
Like, I really thought they were going to be building up to like, oh, okay, so the others would take the place of the fallen Guardians. So Amy would see one, Knuckles would see one, and Tails would see one. But no, it was all just Sonic going to each one of them. And I'm of the pilots, I should say, rather than Guardian. I don't know what they were called, but I kind of a little bit disappointed that although it was great playing as characters and it was great that they had a skill tree and they got that much attention, but I do kind of wish they were given more shit to do other than just explore the island.
They could have been better.
Yeah,
I like what they did, just being involved at all, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, the Guardians, we'll just call them that. Because they were parallels of them, weren't they? Like one of them was an Amy, one of them was the smart one, like Tails. One of them was the brute one, like Knuckles. You could see the parallels.
Which was kind of a clever storytelling.
I guess Sonic having the interaction makes the most sense because he's the one who beat the Titans.
Yeah,
I guess.
So they were trying to
suss him out.
Yeah. See what made him
training
worthy.
Yeah. Anime. But I was surprised to see going towards the new final boss that they kept the Supreme fight in.
Yeah,
exactly the same.
I was expecting a completely new Titan.
Yeah.
After you beat Supreme, but no, it was Supreme connected with the end.
Yeah.
And he turned into that crawly.
No, when the trailer came out, we saw it was kind of look like.
I didn't know that was Supreme.
I didn't know that was Supreme.
I
thought it was completely new.
When the cutscene started,
I thought it was like some beetle-looking Titan or some shit.
When the cutscene started after beating Supreme, and then the end sort of just appeared, descended. I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
I was like, "What is going on?" Like,
and then the end connects itself to the
Titan. And that's when it started getting confusing.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I know what you're gonna say.
Because I just saw the end connect it, like the big rock thing, have a metal arm and stick it to the Titan. I'm like,
it's a planet, right? How is it mechanical?
Is it a moon or is it like a?
I thought it was a big asteroid.
Is it like a like space colony kind of thing at this point? Is it like an artificial moon?
Because that pipe was mechanical, unless it was some cyberspace shit. Because it can
which is what I'm assuming.
Conjure it, yeah. But they definitely, I think, made the end a little bit more menacing in this new boss. It felt a bit scary.
It made him a bit more corrupting, like...
It was spooky.
Like, he means business.
It was very spooky, but it did come at a cost. We did miss out on that great speech.
Yeah, the end speech from the original boss,
which was fantastic. But the actual boss itself... Well, I didn't actually play the boss, because like I said, I gave up.
That was the point where I put it too easy. I was so exhausted from doing the trials on normal. I just wanted to enjoy that.
Same. But even then, it was so confusing. Right, literally, and this is what disappointed me. Like, it just made it. That's what made me realise. Yeah, this update has just not been fun as I was hoping it would be, because that boss, at least that first half of the boss,
confusing.
It should not have been that confusing.
Yeah.
Because it took me a while to realise what was going on.
His health.
His health was going back up. I was like, okay, what's going on here? And then it got to the point where I eventually somehow disconnected the end off him.
Yeah.
Brought his health down, like, bang, I beat him.
Now what?
Nothing's going on. What's happening?
He's just laying there.
He's just laying there. What do I do? His health goes back up and connects himself again. I was like, what the fuck do I do? And then my rings fucking went off.
Yeah, it's a
like, I did that like 3 times. I was like, what do I do? Again, I had to look it up.
Yeah. The stupid thing is the only thing that... Because I did watch the boss fight because I couldn't be bothered to play it. Like I said. So I watched it. The only thing they had to do... You know in the... on the open zone, you have that little blue sign sticking out the ground that basically says, do a side loop
Do something here.
Do a side loop here, and you'll get something. That's all they had to do was put that little thing in the...
On it.
Yeah.
Just to give the player some visual feedback, like, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Because the only hint they give you was, like, the end's health keeps going back up, blah, blah. Maybe there might be a way to disconnect. I'm like, how?
Yeah.
Because even trying to aim yourself to disconnect the wire is so difficult.
Dude.
Trying to go around it.
Oh, you brought up a great point the other day. Like,
I'm going to get to this. I wanted, before we go into what I know you're going to say, was that it was fucking horrible, man, because I was playing that fight like half-baked as well. And there was like trees and shit in my face.
Oh my god, the trees are so...
The
trees, you had the balls coming at you.
Why couldn't they just put the camera up a bit?
Yeah.
There's like trees and shit in my face. I can't see where I am.
Literally. That's what was pissing me off of that fight, because I was trying to see where I was going, and then I couldn't see the balls coming at me because the trees were in my way.
What you're supposed to do, which I never used in the base game anyway, there's that sidestep.
Yeah.
Where Sonic goes around them.
Yeah.
You're supposed to hit him in the face.
Yeah.
And sidestep, and then it makes him go up to the tube.
Yeah.
And then you hit the tube.
Yeah.
But it's so unspecific.
Yeah.
And it bothered me because it was easily fixed, right? By... You know how in the open zone in this update, every so often you'd hear the characters talking to each other, they're all connected in their minds and shit. And they're literally, in this final boss, they're like over there. And so is Eggman.
They're watching.
Why is it that in every other Supersonic final boss, it's like, Sonic, can you hear me? You need to attack the bio-lizards fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just a hint.
No one was talking,
Somebody say what to do.
Yeah.
It was dead silent.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Not even Sage said anything. And but you had to time that right to try and disconnect the cord.
Yeah.
Because those electric balls he'd shoot out of him. You have to time it just right whilst you're trying to punch the thing out.
Yeah.
And then by the time you disconnect the cord, it's like you then had to pan it again.
Hit him more.
But then you'd run out of the loops.
Yeah.
To then try and get the gun rifle out of him.
You have to save Psyloop.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to have Psyloop.
Because by the time you get the rifle at his back, you don't have the loop anymore. You have to try and beat the shit out of the sword.
It's kind of misleading.
To get the meter back up.
It's misleading because when you're attacking him, you can Psyloop him and it puts him into this
still shock.
You know what I mean?
But he shoots a laser at you, and then you
basically you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You want the full meter because you need half the meter to pull that piece out of his back, and you need it again to do it fucking over there.
Because literally, I had so much time to spare that I just had to just punch and stomp this sword so that I could build up my meter for the loop, and then quickly loop that shit as soon as I get it, because he was about to get up and link himself to the cord again.
It was less of a fight and more of like a series of things you have to do.
Yeah.
It was like a puzzle.
It just wasn't strategized very well, and it just took me so long to figure out.
Which brings me to an original point where in the first game, like I said, you could brute force through pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Which, wasn't very satisfying in itself, but actually no, that's a lie. It did feel pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
But now in this update, it's forcing you to strategize when you never had to do that beforehand. And you're just like, I literally not built or equipped or trained or any necessary part to get me to get me ready for this boss fight. So for those people that
newcomers,
for any newcomers, or for especially, I think we got it the worst because we didn't touch the game until this update came out, and then we went straight in, just like, it's just going to be the same as before. And what do you know? We get knocked out.
Yeah.
But I'm also thinking, like, for those people, I don't know if did you work it out?
What? How to beat him?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did it take a while?
In the end, took me a fucking while.
Yeah.
You're the people I feel sorry for because you looked at a guide, which I recommend.
Yeah, I did.
I looked it up because I wasn't going to even fucking try it because I knew I just wasn't. I had other shit to do in my life.
Yeah.
And because I was playing Tears of the Kingdom at the time, and I just. Those are the people I focus on. How many times did they have to try?
Yeah.
And how much fun was drained out of it by the time you finally got to the end?
But when you got to part 2 of the boss, I started to enjoy it again because it got easier and more enjoyable because you were doing all these sick cinematic attacks at him.
The thing I wanted to say was...
But then it was over so quickly.
The worst part was the process of working it out was when I knew I didn't have enough rings.
Yeah.
I know I don't have enough rings to finish this boss.
Yeah.
And I had to just sit there and wait. Because I can't reload my save, because it puts me at the fight before Supreme.
Yeah.
I'd have to do that again. So I had to just... And isn't that fun?
Yeah,
just sitting there and waiting to die so I can try again.
Yeah.
That was depressing.
I had that a couple of times where I think by the time I worked it out, I only had so few rings left and I couldn't even get to the Cybersonic part.
Yeah, one thing we haven't talked anything about.
But before I get to that part, what I did like about the Supersonic fight as a whole in that the end fight was he turned Supersonic 2 as they call it. That is the name. Kaioken Supersonic.
Yeah.
And he comes out with all this Ultra Instinct shit. It was so cool when you do the
parry,
the parry, and you do the triangle circle thing, and he goes like and fucking goes everywhere.
It's like Vegeta.
Vegeta.
All I thought was Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta.
Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. I had Ultra Instinct vibes, but I also had
the aura was very super.
Do you remember Sonic X when he stops the egg machine before they do Chaos Control, before the Chaos Saga begins?
Yes.
He turns Super Sonic for the first time, blocks his hand, and then he goes. That's the vibe I got when he saw that going on from Sonic X. That was actually kind of cool.
It was very X-y,
and the poses that he would do as well.
It was especially X-y, which we'll get to the cannon.
The cannon, so I had Sonic with the Meta X,
I'm sorry, but you quickly brought up the pose just very quickly. That pose where he had his arms folded, and I was looking up behind. Again, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta vibes, and also
Vegito.
And Vegito,
yeah,
he did the whole folding.
Oh, of course, using his finger. But when he did that pose, I was just like, "Is that you, Shadow?"
Yeah, right.
We were saying in our original review overview that the game was heavily shonen Sonic up the ass already. They cranked it up to 9,000, man.
Yeah, man.
Anime up the ass in this ending.
That part of Supersonic was really good.
Some of the craziest
to at least get something cool out of the struggle that we had with it.
Yeah.
But
like they make you work for that shit.
And we know deep down this is a one game thing. I don't think we're going to see this Supersonic 2 form again. It feels like a one-time thing.
It does feel like it was
for this game.
Titan-given thing. Like it was from the Elders specifically.
So, and it's, we're used to game-exclusive
like a
forms.
Temporary power.
Excalibur, Darkspine. It's one of those.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
Because it was cyber-linked. That's what gave him that power. So we probably won't see that ever again now. But it was cool. It was really cool to see. But... yeah, all the moves he was doing to Supreme and shit, how cinematic it got. Because he did like a dragon fist pose and everything. I was like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah, he knocked it up and then we saw like
and then he was
like,
he
like JoJo'd it into the air.
It was just fucking awesome.
And I love that when you see the hands and feet kicking, it cuts to a shot of Supreme with like the flash of where Sonic is, and you can see it going.
Yeah. It was so cool. It's such a different experience to what we had in the original final boss with the end, where Sonic seems like just flying up there, doing that meter and dive right in.
Supersonic in general as an experience, it was very new and
it was
very
amazing.
Yeah.
Such a great way to play Supersonic after so long.
Which is also it's also baffling. Like Supersonic is meant to be infinitely powerful.
Yeah, and it showed that.
No, but now the game essentially said, infinite power isn't enough.
Yeah.
You need infinite +1.
Yeah.
Now.
Legit.
That's how fucking
the second half of the fight was more manageable and more fun. When it got to that and I knew, okay, all I have to do now is hit him. Yeah. Now I can have fun.
Yeah, the second part of that fight was
for the last
more fun.
30 seconds.
Right, you didn't even get to enjoy that second part long enough. You were struggling for the first half, but don't even get to enjoy what you fucking worked your way for the entirety of the game. just for a 30-second fight left.
Sonic jumps in the cannon.
Yeah,
See,
we'll get to the end.
I was going
Sonic
to say, yeah, I thought that Amy, Knuckles and Tails were going to do something and link with Sonic somehow to try and like do an attack together.
I mean, it's nice that they were involved in some way. It was cool,
yeah. And Eggman got involved and was locking on to the with glasses and shit. That was really cool. Because the last time we saw that lock-on thing was 06 on his glasses.
Shit, was it?
It was, yeah. When he was when he was trying to track something, yeah. But yeah, the cannon shit. Fucking that they amped that shit because like
the music peaked. Like the music was sick.
And Roger Craig, man, what superb acting!
He did some anime shouts
with the echo yells and shit, like sort of thing.
Sonic started glitching.
He
was like,
he had Fleetway Supersonic eyes. Did you notice? Like it was insane.
Yeah,
he fucking shoot himself.
We
up
had
there.
the form we play as, and then for that end cinematic, he did go into a different form. He went all blue and dark blue, glitchy. The eyes changed.
Shark teeth.
When he shot out the cannon, you clearly see spiky teeth.
Yeah.
It was full on like Fleetway shit.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
That's I mean, that was
that's a form I want to see.
It was kind of a clever mix of Fleetway and Cyber. What we assumed was a Cybersonic we hoped to have seen in the original game, but that was a nice little nod to fans that wanted to see that. So that was clever.
Cybersonic was red.
The Cybersonic that people thought would have been was red, yeah. But that was actually kind of cool anyway.
Was it blue?
Yeah.
It's like dark Supersonic again from
in
Sonic
a way.
X.
It was
there was a lot of X.
Their own play on Dark Sonic in a way, like a tease of Sonic's Dark Side. What could have been, yeah. But yeah, that was. I'd say was a better ending. I just wish it was a bit more enjoyable.
There is something I'd like to say to cap off that fight.
It did make me feel satisfied because I just didn't enjoy that.
Sonic shot out one shot at Supreme and then kept going, went through the end and killed it, and then, very surprisingly, we had a shot of him floating in space. All battered looking, covered in shit.
Like Sonic X.
Passed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm going to say, we had this thing in our original discussion about how the end didn't feel very powerful or dangerous compared to what it was compared to in game. They said it's stronger than Dark Gaia. Supersonic passed out.
Yeah. So, I mean, it took a cyber...
The only other thing that made Supersonic pass out was Dark Gaia. And he fully fucking passed out, so the end is very strong.
True, yeah.
Very strong.
Well, yeah, they said that the end could even surpass the power of Dark Gaia.
Oh, yeah.
Which just quickly, before we wrap this up, because I remember when I was going
I'm
back
not close to wrapping this up yet.
Oh, okay. I was going back to our old commentary and how we mentioned about Dark Gaia and how the end surpasses power. I'm like, I want to know how Dark Gaia fits into all this and the lore, where Dark Gaia, how he was trapped on the planet, how far back does he go back?
I think he's always been in there.
Well, yeah,
since the beginning of the planet. Yeah,
but they had Chaos Emerald relations as well.
Yeah, the Chaos Emeralds had something to do with Dark Gaia.
We still don't know anything about the Chaos Emeralds because the Ancients somehow had their own little altars. So I'm like, how the fuck does the Chaos Emeralds fit
where the Master Emerald
fit into everything? Yeah, so there's still questions.
So maybe Superstars, right?
Maybe Superstars explain that. Yeah, we'll never know. They did it for they sort of did it for Mania. And they linked it to Infinite, but still didn't really explain it much. So, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say that this new ending, which is more or less the same as the old one, but we got to see Sage standing next to Eggman.
We saw a bit more out of it.
Yeah, that screenshot alone was
kind of sweet.
Yeah, it was kind of worth it. Like it undermined Sage's sacrifice a bit, but at the same time,
you did well.
Eggman is like, come on, my daughter, and I'm like,
it is weird though. I do find it weird. I like it, but it's like I can't get my head around it.
But I remember the exact moment that I smiled was. It was actually right at the start of this update, where Sai was like, "You're going to help me save the world this time," and Sage is just like, "I was like, oh, of course, it's my masters to rule."
Yeah,
and I was just like,
"Yeah,
I like it."
Cool. They're still going to be evil. They're just
what you said about how it undermines Sage a little bit. I felt that. Like that end shot of him with her on the cliff is identical to the original ending where he's on the cliff alone. Yeah. And he was kind of like sad.
But you said in the original in our previous commentary that Sage,
am I being called out here?
Sage sacrificing herself was pointless.
Because she comes back.
She came back. She came back. Yes. Sure. And they didn't bother having her sacrifice herself in this.
But I think
so they did.
She tried to defend herself.
I think it's even more undermined when her character arc that was complete when she did the sacrifice in the original ending. There was no character arc in this update. That her arc didn't have a completion. She just lives.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I still think they kind of. It still kind of comes full circle because it was her idea to have this to do it this way in the first place.
Yeah.
So she, you know, it was that opportunity that was so obsolete that she didn't even consider it. But something switched in her and went, okay, maybe we can actually.
Something about the ending, though, the original ending of Eggman on the cliff hits more.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't say anything, and that makes it sadder.
He was alone, wasn't he?
He's just on his own.
Because then you had that end credit scene where he's on the computer and supposedly he's reviving
and he goes at a girl or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nice.
So like,
nice.
obviously they had to
one
take
way
that
or another
out.
she lives.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
So
the ending was basically the same.
They probably had a different outcome for what they wanted to bring for Sage next time, but then they got the feedback for Frontiers and they did this Final Horizon as a new story to bring her back in a different way.
We'll probably see more Sage.
Hopefully, hopefully they'll adapt her. Maybe you know.
My overall view of the Final Horizon is I'm trying to view it as a complete package. I'm not viewing it as a single update. I'm viewing it as an addition to a whole game.
Yeah.
And
if I played New Game Plus mode with that added in, I might enjoy it more.
As the idea that
I'll have more time to prep.
It is this like secret ending that you can do a complex series of things and hard shit to get a secret ending.
It's like a true ending you can unlock.
Yeah. And I dig that, you know, in a way, maybe that makes it worth it, all the stress, so you get the real ending as part of a complete experience.
Yeah.
Maybe. That's how I look on it.
Yeah. I just have to do this boss trials. Easy.
I looked at it as Sonic Frontiers base game is a 7 out of 10 for me. Although I don't really give.
We gave it an 8.
You had some good shit to say about it because you said you actually preferred Frontiers over like Unleashed.
Yeah.
Over SA1.
I did at the time. Yeah. I still don't. It's difficult because I only like half of Unleashed, but the half I liked, I really fucking liked.
Yeah.
But I don't know. In terms of Sonic Totem Pole, it's all over the fucking place because it really just depends on what mood I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm convinced about now. But basically, if I had to give Sonic Frontiers a score, it would be a 7 out of 10. And I went into the Sonic Horizon update like, right, this is going to boost it up to an 8 or a 9. It's going to fix all the issues I had.
Yeah.
Nope.
It didn't.
No.
but it didn't ruin anything either.
No.
I would say like its down points were evened out by its good points, so I'll say it's still a good 7 out of 10
yes.
for me. Even with the complete package in mind, I would still say 7 out of 10. I would have preferred an actual original new boss fight.
Yeah.
But I do find it quite clever that they just had the two separate boss fights and slammed them together.
I kind of would have liked the end to somehow mutate into some sort of form.
Yes,
what that eyeball artwork you showed us, like,
that is a shame.
That was really cool.
Well, one of the things that when you see the flashbacks of the end attacking the Ancients, beams hit the planet.
Yeah.
And where was that? You know, while they're fighting Supreme on the surface, why isn't the end like bang? You know what I mean? Fucking boom the planet. Why is it just sitting there?
See, I was still hoping that like Knuckles, Tails, and Amy would link with the Titan suits to fight with the end, but I guess they didn't do that.
It's nice that they took Supreme, the most like shittier boss. Everybody said it was like what
it was a bit.
It was just
boring.
there, and they made it into something a bit more snazzy.
Because it just felt like it was the first Titan boss, just with a rifle,
and wings.
So yeah. So I guess that was a nice little step up to how you linked at the end. Just a shame it was fucking hard.
My
to figure out.
overall like review for this update is simply that it could have not existed. But they did it anyway, and that's nice, right?
And the fact
they went through the effort. They didn't have to, but they gave people more for free.
Yeah, for free.
Yeah.
Good shit.
And karma of it being for free was that it was balls hard.
It was balls hard.
Yeah, they weren't getting any money from it, so fair enough.
We can't complain. It was literally free.
Yeah.
So
hopefully they will take feedback from this.
Yeah.
And balance it out in the next big game.
Which apparently will have Shadow in.
Hopefully we'll have Shadow in it. I cannot wait to see his Chaos Control combat system.
Which is going to be really interesting because Frontiers still left us with a lot of unanswered questions.
Exactly.
And I think intentionally unanswered. Yeah. Like I'm still not even convinced that we have seen the end of the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
blew up.
But as it said, you strike this incarnation with all your might, it changes nothing. Yeah. This incarnation.
Maybe it's just
so maybe it will resurrect into something.
It's like
else.
a spirit.
It has multiple incarnations.
Yeah.
So I could perfectly believe
that. Could be a big arc for him.
Yeah, exactly. And they've already said like, well, I think Sonic Team said this, but this is the kind of game formula that they're going to stick with moving on.
Yeah.
So,
and if they were going to adapt the Chaos Emerald story, Shadow's a good thing to fit into it because of his chaos relation.
Yeah, the corrupted Sonic could come back. There could be massive consequences for what he did at the end of this game.
Yeah.
That we'll see follow into the second game. Maybe Sonic gets taken out of the picture and Shadow has to take over or something.
Yeah.
Basically, we're looking at Sonic Frontiers was a full package. Now we're looking at with the Final Horizons as a big package, but we might have the sequel game, and we might look at the Frontiers Saga as its own kind of
like a little trilogy,
package.
maybe.
Yeah, or a duology.
Fuck yeah.
So it's and Frontiers. I have issues with Frontiers, but for a starting point in what could potentially be a big star, it just makes me really excited because I can see everything in it works. But it's not
refined.
It's not perfect.
It's not refined, and the update. I was hoping that the update would do that.
Yeah.
But it didn't. But but that's fine, because
there was only so much time we could spend on.
Yeah, and again, I'm not complaining because again, we're lucky to get this at all.
Yeah.
But we have we have more to look forward to.
Yep.
And I'm probably just repeating myself from what I said in the last review. But
you did say something similar to this, but there's a bit more to it.
Okay, but now there's. I'm still really excited for what happens.
Yeah, and just going back to what I was saying about Shadow, like with Shadow's like chaos abilities, you could still relate that little arc for him to maybe adapt his chaos because he has such a limited supply of chaos energy, doesn't he? You can somehow adapt that. He might be able to improve that. Yeah, and be able to perfect his limitations.
Maybe get Super Shadow too.
I've said that my prediction, and
Chaos Shadow.
My prediction is that Shadow's going to be in Sonic Movie 3. He's very prevalent in Prime. He's clearly.
I love the way they've written him in Prime.
He's very involved.
I love his story.
And Izuka was like, Shadow's going to have a big emphasis in the next game. I could see with the reception of Frontiers, they do a similar type of game with the same type of combat and open zone, but perhaps it's a co-op game. One player plays a Sonic and the other player online plays a Shadow, and you do team attacks together. That'd be fucking awesome.
You'll have to be careful doing that in single player though.
Oh yeah,
I want to still share the characters.
Yeah, maybe you could switch.
Yeah,
and then the other's AI controlled.
Yeah, exactly.
Heroes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That'd be novel.
But by that time, because we're gonna be having Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
He's gonna be
next year.
Popular.
Shadow's gonna be big.
Oh yeah.
Again, so that's the perfect time to bring Shadow back in the game.
Oh yeah.
So there we go.
You know they should have beat the end. They had all the fucking emeralds, and Sonic should have been like, wait right here, flown off, got in the arc, got in the cannon.
What?
Bang!
Where was the arc in this?
I thought it's made to destroy like planets.
It was in space.
In the fucking arc at the end. I'm sure that'll work.
That would have been so perfect.
Yeah, for sake.
Right, we better wrap this up because it's gone over an hour now. Have you guys said what you needed to say?
I've said everything.
Yeah? We're all good?
I'm satisfied.
I'm satisfied. Guys, that was our full review on the Final Horizon update for Sonic Frontiers. Thank you so much for watching this video.
Probably be back at some point to talk about superstars.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know if I'm going to get that straight away, but eventually, over time, I'll probably play that at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, we probably will be back for that. But if you've enjoyed this video, please drop a like, comment below your thoughts. What did you think of the update yourselves? Did you enjoy it? Did you dislike it? Was there anything you hated? Was there anything you would have changed? Let us know. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And we'll see you all next time for the next review we might do.
Cool.
Take care, guys. Until then, have a fantastic day.
Bye.
See you later, guys. Bye-bye.